The real reason he's not committing to you. I'm Mike Goldstein of Easy Dating Coach. The real reason he's not committing to you is fear. And let me explain this to you. So first I want to start by telling you a story. The other day I went on a very long bike ride that culminated in this massive hill that took me up to the top of a cliff. So I'm going up this hill and I'm huffing and puffing. This is a tough ride for me. I almost passed out. This is a tough one. Anyway, I finally get to the top and I'm at this beautiful, picturesque view. Think California, think the sun shining, think the ocean's right there. You're on a cliff really high. You've got like mansions over there. You've got like a mountain over there. And you've got the ocean here and a beautiful drop off. And so I'm tired. I get up there and I see this drop off on the cliff, but this beautiful view. So I'm a big wuss and I'm terrified. So I don't get that close. I stay a good like 5-10 feet away from where that kind of cliff happens. Because I'm a wuss and I'm afraid. So I don't get that close. Because, I might hit a pebble. Something might happen. I could fall. I don't want to fall. And so my uncertainty of what could happen after this cliff doesn't get me very close to the edge. And right at the end of this cliff, for all I know, because I couldn't see because I wasn't very close to it, 3 feet down, there might have been a ledge that, caught you if you did fall. I couldn't tell you because I didn't get close. Because I was terrified of being close to the edge because I'm afraid of heights. Not that bad anymore. Anyway, so I'm afraid. So how does this apply to your man within your relationship as to why men don't commit in general and why within your relationship? Because he is terrified. Almost everyone watching this has either had a terrible breakup, had a terrible divorce, or had multiple terrible breakups or multiple terrible divorces. For those of you that have been in serious relationships where you were living together, you know how terrible a divorce can be or a breakup can be. You're splitting up finances, you're looking at your joint checking accounts, seeing what goes where. Maybe you have kids, days of the week where you get the children. The list goes on. You have housing, you have real estate. How does this all get divided up? And when you go through this bad breakup, you remember this. Our memory is tied to emotions. We can remember emotions really well. We can't remember what we had for breakfast 2 days ago, but if we have an emotion, even if it was something that happened 20 years ago, a very traumatic emotion, that sticks with us. And trust me, one of the most traumatic emotions you can have is breaking up from your loved one. So because of that, he's afraid to commit. And it doesn't show up in his everyday life, right? But that's what's happening in his head. Is he's like, man, I love this woman right now, but I'm still afraid, like, what's going to happen in 20 years, in 40 years? Are we going to change? Am I going to change? Is she going to change? And are we going to have that dreaded breakup? Are we going to have to split up our things again? I don't want to do that again. That sucked. I barely made it through the first time. Okay. So we know he's afraid. And I think we also know that fear kind of runs our lives. Like, fear is a very strong emotion. And even pleasure, a lot of the time, doesn't get us past things. We can't kind of override fear a lot of the time. Like, think about, if you're afraid of snakes. And you're like, go pet that snake over there. If someone asks you to do that, you'd be like, nope, not going to do that. I'm afraid of the snake. Not happening. So how do we get him past this? And he gets really motivated to partner with you when we remove doubt, right? So he's got doubt as to, are we still going to be this in love? Are we still going to be this happy in 20 years, 40 years? And so the way we do this is looking inside ourselves. So hopefully you find a man that's gotten really good at figuring out how to be in pleasure, be in this place, in this state of just loving life. And he's found happiness within his activities, within himself. Now, not only does he have that, but then you've got to have that where you just have found abundance in your life, found happiness. You know how to be happy, whether it's with him, without him, you know how to be happy. So if he knows that both of you know how to be happy, and when things go up. And so maybe you should probably spend a good 2 years or at least a year together, but ideally 2 years, where you get the 8 seasons, the 4 seasons. So then, you've seen their bad sides. You've had maybe bad things happen, and you see how your partner bounces back. But once he's convinced that you're happy, and no matter how he changes or what he gets interested in, you're going to support him. You're going to be happy for him. You're not going to ask him to change, but you're just going to allow him to be in pleasure. That starts to remove the fear. Because, for example, look at me. I don't know what I'm going to be interested in 30 years. In 30 years, am I going to go on a kick and want to learn MMA and want to go take classes 5 days a week? I don't know. Am I going to want to do Tai Chi or just something that I'm not doing right now? There's a good shot my interests are going to change in 30, 40 years. But the woman who just knows that, okay, Mike's a giver, I adore him, and no matter what he's interested in, I'm going to support him, and I'm going to have his back. Well, now we're removing his fear. And so once his fear comes down, he'll be wildly motivated. His doubt comes down as to how you'll be in the future. Now he's motivated to drop to a knee, or if you don't believe in marriage, he's motivated to have, partnership. And of course, a lot of my folks in their 50s, 60s don't want to get married again, but we can talk about life partnership. So we got to remove the doubt and just give him certainty, as much certainty as we can, that hey, I adore who you are. You can have whatever interests you want to have. I've got you. And I accept you for who you fully are. Once we accomplish this, the world is your oyster. All right, cool. I hope that was helpful. Do me a favor, leave me a comment if you thought that was helpful. My love language is words of appreciation, so I want to hear this. And please share this with your friends. I need more subscribers, so tell your girlfriends about this, because we want to get the community bigger, please. And I love all of you. I'll put 2 more videos, one up there, one up here for you guys to keep watching. And don't forget to subscribe. And we'll see you on the next video. Love you guys. Bye.